Hello, good afternoon. And today we want to talk about one of those powerful certification out there many people are not really aware about, and how you can be able to leverage that certification to find your way in this agile complex market we are having today. So today I'm going to be introducing you to the world of a release train engineer, what is expected from a release train engineer, but most importantly, how powerful the release train engineer certification is and the power it has to impact your agile journey. So, welcome to the Scrum chat room. And when you join in, let me know where you are watching us from. I'm going to keep it really, really straight to the point so that even those who are watching it after can find some really great benefit from it. Now, many of us are within the Scrum journey and we know about the different Scrum certification. And most often we take up to about three, four, five different Scrum certification, CSM, PSM, SSM, and then we go to PMP and also take their certification. But then we are not building the right certification that will help us in our career. It's just like you having to do three different masters in one subject, right? It doesn't really add so much weight. Now, the release train engineer certification is a certification that sits above the Scrum certification, and it's specifically for enterprise company. So if you have a release train engineer, you are seen as someone who can work in a very big company. A release train engineer is more of a chief scrum master, and a release train engineer obviously most often will supervise between 5 and 12 scrum teams. So when you are an, a certified RTE or a certified release train engineer and you are applying for a scrum master role, is a very big advantage for companies, especially for those companies that are implementing Scale Agile. So assume that I am applying for a Scrum Master role at Bank of America, for instance, with you, and I have a release train engineer certification listed on my resume, and you don't have it. They are going to prefer me over you simply because they know that if they want me to easily move up and assist the release train engineer, I can easily do that. Secondly, they know that apart from just becoming a scrum master, it's going to be easier for me to assist over there. Now, a release train engineer obviously is the one who facilitates PI planning. Now, we are talking about Scale Agile. Even when your company doesn't implement SAFe, you realize that any small company is looking forward to grow. So when they see someone who has more than what they need, they will definitely want to go after you. My top recommendation for every Scrum Master, especially for those who might be struggling to land interviews, is take a certification that is a bit more higher than Scrum. The ROTE is a certification that helps you. And what I've seen is most of my students who have become ROTE certified, it's easier for them to land interviews. Trust me, this is not marketing language, that is the reality. Most of my students who are ROTE certified, it's very easy for them to land interviews. And it's also easier for them to get a job. The release train engineer certification is a 24 hours training. So the Scrum is 16 hours, 24 hours training. Now, it teaches you not just how to facilitate Scrum team, but you are going to have an in-depth understanding on how work is being introduced prior to the PI and how you actually manage the flow of that work through the entire PI. It teaches you how to work with the system engineer and the product managers. So you are now working above the team level. Imagine that you have learned what it takes to work above the team level, and then you are now sitting at the team level in order to facilitate. You, are, you can easily understand what the team is going through, and you can easily collaborate with those who are at the management level. Secondly, the path to growth in a scale agile environment is from Scrum Master, Release Train Engineer, and SPC. So if you're looking forward to build a career and not just maybe get a job and after that job you're thinking of what next to do, while you are preparing to get a job, you need to understand what is the career track, what is the career growth strategy that I need to implement. It's definitely not going to make any sense for you staying on one spot for 6 7 months 1 year looking for a scrum master job, and you really are passionate about a career in scrum. Why you can easily take those steps higher, get scrum certification, go ahead and get your RT certification. Right now, the advantage of getting an RT certification is not just about the fact that you can work as an ROTE, it also gives you the ability to expand your knowledge. Just imagine you're struggling with understanding Scrum and feel like you're struggling. And then you take a step higher to take another challenging certification. Most often, it gets you to see things in a bigger way. And secondly, it boosts your confidence, because if you're not really confident that you really are in this journey of Agile, you will not go ahead to start thinking about a release train engineer certification. One of the things I've told my students and most people that come to me for advice is the fact that the reason why it's so difficult for an average person to have a job is simply because all they are looking for is a job. So they don't see beyond that job. If I'm looking for a job, I will not be willing to invest so much to get that job because I don't yet have a job. So why should I bother so much? Right. And this is where many people are. I don't have a job, so I'm not willing to put in any money to get a job. But when you focus on building a career, you realize that it is like you investing $50,000 to get a bachelor in nursing, or you investing $50,000 to get a master's in maybe data science, which you are not even guaranteed a job at the end. So for me, coming out here to that, you need to be able to start thinking about taking an ROT certification. Is more like I want to put you to build a career path. For those who have gone to university education, you realize that most often when you do the first degree and you are embarking on the second degree, most often you're not like, oh, I need to work first. No. If you have an opportunity and you have a great job and a great career, good, you jump into it. If you don't have, instead of sitting and idling around, what happened? You invest in the next career. That is how people want to grow in their career think. What is my key message for this live program? My key message is, if you're serious about getting a Scrum Master job and you have been pushing through and that job is not coming through, don't stop investing both in yourself and both in training. Many people have the thinking that because I've invested here and I did not work, every other stuff will not work for me. And because of that, they're not taking any action. Every community is different. Yesterday, I was having a session with my students, and I told them that if you don't succeed in anything you want to do, you are the problem, not anybody else. Why? You are the champion to your own life. Most often, we allow people to decide how we act. You're part of a community and it doesn't work. It's like, oh, I've invested my money and you didn't give me what I want, so I quit. And you see people quitting and being on the same spot for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You ask them what happened. Oh, I was upset because this person, so I just had to quit. Now, there's a spot you get to in life when no one can make you stop seeking after your goal. But that only comes into play when you understand where you're heading to. If I were to tell you that after you complete or after you get your first Scrum job, your first paycheck will be $500,000. You realize that people will even learn and learn coding language and learn everything that they need to learn just to get that job. What has changed? It's not about the job, it's about what value you are seeing that is making you put interest in it. So if the value you're seeing is all about, I need a job, I need a job, I'm trying so hard, I need a job, I need a job, and you cannot see yourself 10 years after building a career there and looking at you coaching a whole entire company on transformation and having people pay you $500 an hour just because of so much that you've learned and how far you've grown for the next 10 years, then you're not serious about your career. If investing 2,000, 3,000, $4,000 is too much for you to put down on a career, then you are not still serious about your career. I want you to start looking at life in from a different lens. Many people look at life as, oh, this is expensive, I cannot do this. And most often what we term expensive is what need to build us up. Unfortunately, we are in a space where we know the price of everything and we know the value of nothing. It's going to be very easy for someone to invest $3,000, $4,000 in shopping for, let's say, a more better car, or you save just because you want a very fancy car. You spend time saving a lot of money. But we don't spend time saving a lot of money to now improve on the Ray engine ourselves, building the right skills. Opportunities that come your way, they will not wait for you to go get ready and come. Many people are like, oh, the day I get a job, I'll get a coach and the coach will help me. Or the day I get an interview, I'm going to get someone to help me. Like, you see people, like, oh, I have an interview tomorrow and I need your help. It's like, sorry, we can't help you. Why? Because preparation is not at the eve. The reason why sometimes within our community that some months we might get about 15 people have jobs is not because they started preparing on that same month. These are people that have been on a back-to-back journey for about 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, and some even up to 6 months and 1 year of consistency. And at that time, when they sit in front of the interviewer, like, hey, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Now, the job is looking to hire, you have not yet built it. You still need to build it. One of the way to build it is to invest in yourself. I'm giving a very heavy discount on our next ROT certification, which is one you will not find out in the market, $1,500 for the ROT certification. And for those who are looking also forward to belong to a company, I'm also going to be offering them a complimentary access to our community of practice. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because many people feel like the Scrum market is down, the Scrum market is gone. It's not gone, it's there. I have people that are having jobs day in, day out. Trust me, this is not marketing language. People are having jobs in my community on a weekly basis. They're having jobs. The Scrum market has just kind of tightened up. They're looking for people with more technical and more practical skill. And you only build that not just by watching question and answer on YouTube, but by engaging with other people in the process who are willing to do this. Now, I recently wrote this book, Ace Your Scrum Master, Your Scrum Safe and Kanban Interview with Ease, which has been a very powerful guide for those who have ordered the book. We have over about 224 questions carrying across the different part. And the way I structure it is when you're reading the first part, it's just about questions. So you want to read a question and like, can I answer this question before you go to section B and make reference of the answer? And people who have had this book as like, I thought I knew something, but when I started going through the questions, I like, okay, I probably have been joking. So it's very important. You can get a copy on Amazon. If you want a signed copy, send me a direct message. I will send you a signed copy. A signed copy will be $30. On Amazon, you get it for $27. And people asking me, why is the book expensive? It's not expensive. Now I have other books I've written, right? This book, Get Off Your Comfort Zone. I think it's $14 on Amazon. And this other book, Help by God, I think it's $12 something on Amazon. And this one, Book Writing for Entrepreneurs, I think it's about $14 on Amazon. Now, why is this one $27 or $30? And it stopped on study skills. You realize that a book doesn't sell because of the size. A book sells because of the value, and that's why sometimes you will get just like how they call it, a cheat sheet for $150, right? Because of the value that is attached to it, and it also helps people to be able to pay attention, right? I think everyone can easily spend $20. That's fine, but when you're spending more than $20, you think, do I really need this? So that's the secret why you see workbooks are very expensive. For those who have been in nursing and medical school, you agree with me. You buy a book for over 200, 300, $400. Right. But then if you look at a novel, like a romance novel, it's very voluminous and they're selling it $5. The point is that they want you to think, do I really need this? When you need that, when you buy it, you're going to go through it. Trust me. Anything that is more valuable is because the author know what they've put inside. Knowledge is hidden. The reason why people don't easily get results because results are expensive, very expensive, right? The one you have on YouTube or so, it's more like free knowledge. Except you're very smart, you hardly get anything out of it. But then when you want to put yourself further, you now start looking at, they start putting a price, subscribe here, do this, buy this. Why? Because when you buy, the difference between, I can put a full video for this 224 question on YouTube, right? But then you will go through that and it will still be like any other YouTube. But by the time you get this book, the same question you're going through it, the first thing is that it transforms your mindset. When you're doing a transaction like you're paying, the first thing that it does is that it transforms the way you think. And then it now imputes the value in your mind. If you don't have value, you will not pay attention. I'll give you another example. Many of you are connecting right here. You're watching me on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. Now, you can easily go out and come back in and like, what's this guy talking about? And browse through, maybe come back after 2 minutes because this is completely free. Now, let's assume that before you got access to this video, the cost was $50 just for you to get access to this video. The first thing is you will not pay if it's not important. The second thing is when you actually invest the money, you are going to make sure that you are focusing on that time. That's the rationale behind why it's very important for you to challenge yourself by taking a higher certification. Specifically, I was talking about the Release Train Engineer certification, and also by reading books that will help grow you. Okay, perfect. So it's very important for you to put yourself. Tomorrow I'm going to be back again live tomorrow. I want us to do some question and answer from this book, and I also want to take some questions from you, right? And for those who, if you're in the Scrum fees, your Scrum market, and you feel like, you know what, I've been in here back to back and I'm not getting it, you need help, you can reach out to me. Send me a message. I should be able to. You can send me a direct message if you're watching me on um, LinkedIn, send me on that a direct message. But then let me see if I have my number here. You can also send me a text. You can also send me a text message. I just displaced my number on the screen. You can also send me a text message or a WhatsApp message. Oh, I need help and I want help through my Scrum journey. Right. If you're also in the phase where you're like, okay, I want to grow in my agile journey and I don't know exactly what to do, you can also reach out. I also have people who are looking for agile coach jobs, right? We have an agile coach community of practice. So if you want to become an agile coach and you want to also uh, boost yourself, let me know. I can also work with you to help you go through the ladder. All right. The two major goals for you to get in a job. Number one, continuously build that capacity. There is nothing that can stop you from achieving your goal except you give up, except you tell yourself there's no more option for me. But so long as you continue to build your capacity and continue to stay consistent, there is nothing that will stop you from getting the job. And most importantly, accountability also is the third aspect. Accountability simply means that if there is definitely nothing you are holding up to or someone that can hold you accountable, it's going to be very easy for you to give up. Trust me, it's very easy to give up, especially when there is no system that holds you accountable. Many people, often you see people that will spend some time, less time to get a job. It's because if I don't get it, then I'm done. And many people attend or push start to start taking action when they are at where they hit the bottom rock and there are no options for them and they're very desperate. But immediately they get something, they become too comfortable that they're not even conscious of the fact that I need to grow within the system or I need to get to another next level. So take advantage of the discount on the release train engineer certification. It's one that is not going to come back, right? And at the market, an average for a release train engineer certification is averagely 2,500, but we're offering it at $1,500. It's going to be next towards the end of next week, and it's something which you definitely will not get it anywhere. Trust me, you can go search the internet to get the cost of what it takes to have a release train engineer certification. And this is something you get to keep for life, and this is something that's going to be a game changer in your career. All right, it was great just coming here just to remind someone how important it is to build those certification in your career. Tomorrow and Thursday, we are going to be live and we're going to be talking more or less on direct support, the questions, the answer, the techniques, and what you need to become an effective Scrum Master. I'll see you tomorrow.